This is the new X4 Pro by XTEINK, and it's kind of a combination of the X4 and the X3 with a front light built in. It's an interesting change here. I want to talk about some of the differences, the steps forward, and the step backward. Now, if you're not familiar with XTEINK devices at all, they're these super tiny e-readers that are meant to be carried around in your pocket. They're magnetic and can stick right to your phone, and you can take them with you anywhere, so you can grab and read rather than grab and scroll. Now, like I said, the X4 Pro is kind of a combination of the X4 and X3. So it's the size and screen resolution of the X4. So if you've already been using the X4, you're not going to notice an enormous difference. But it's also got the side buttons forward and back that the X3 has that I really liked. It's also got the micro SD on top like the X3. Now, it's also got the pin charging of the X3 here, which I didn't quite like so much as the USB-C, but they've done something kind of cool here where instead of a pin cable, it actually comes with this pin to USB-C adapter. So I would pick a cable here that I've already got and I'd keep it plugged in so I never lose this, but it's kind of nice that I can charge it and plug it into my laptop with the cables I already have got. So what's new about it? Well, there's easier navigation, but a little bit more tech than the other ones. So for example, you've got this single button on the bottom that always brings you right back to the home screen no matter what menu you're in. It's not a click button, but a touch button. You may also notice that I'm touching the screen, and that's something completely new. Instead of button navigation, you've got touchscreen navigation. And just a little footnote here, if you do read your Bible on it, I know some people have asked about that in the comments, it's a lot easier to click on a book and just get there quickly than it was when you did have just button navigation. So again, it's easier to kind of navigate around the screen, but there was something kind of alluring about these physical buttons and not having a touch screen. So that's a change. Probably the biggest and best change here is that we've got a front light. So let me actually turn off the lights on my desk here. Then I'm going to hit turn on, and I can adjust the brightness here to all the way up or all the way down, and I can change my color temperature from very cold and blue to very warm. This means we no longer need to solve the whole reading in bed thing, which is really nice. You can also turn it off. Now, because there's actually a touch screen and a light, they've also put a larger battery in it so that it can manage those things and still have great battery life. I will say it dies a little bit quicker than its previous generation brothers, but it still lasts a good long while, especially if the light's not on. And the difference in battery size is almost double, where this one here had 650 milliamp hours. This one has got a little over 1100, so almost twice as much, which is really good with the new features. Now, the battery life is exciting, but not nearly as important as these other changes, like the whole OS is rebuilt. XTEINK has done two really cool things that show me that they're listening to people about their devices. The first one is the OS is different. They recognized that that was one of the weak points that people didn't like, and they just completely changed it. So now you have this side menu here with settings and your cloud sync to other devices, and pictures and reading files are separate. Now you also have your recent as these icon images here, and then your all list where you have single books and can scroll up and down, but you also have folders still that you can go into and move out of. This also changes the settings menu quite a bit, where you've got all of these now, And when you're actually reading a book, your settings menu also looks different. You've got exit, contents of the book like chapter navigation, your font changes, and then Bluetooth, auto page turning, rebuilding the index, and night mode now. So you can have a black background with white text, which is really nice and exciting. I'm a huge fan of night mode. Now on the previous generations, because there was no highlighting text or anything like that, if I had a part of a book I really liked, I would actually just screenshot it. And so I had a whole bunch of screenshots from books, but one of my favorite changes is that now in the top right corner, if you can see, there's a bookmark button, which lets you save this page that you're on. And so that is probably going to change a lot for me. I'll at least have a lot less photo files, which is good. A new OS is cool, but the second way that we can tell they're listening to users is that they have totally unlocked this for really easy flashing different OSs on there. Now, there was this thing in the past where they locked devices and didn't want other OSs and people were bothered, but now they've leaned into it because they realize it's what we want. They even listed on their website that it's completely unlocked, freedom for OS flashing, and it will never change. They're even working with Crosspoint now, which is a fan favorite OS. So that's so encouraging. It seems like rather than a money grab, they're kind of wanting to build something people love, and that tells me they're going to be around a long time. Two other small changes here. The magnet placement on this one is really, really high. So here's my phone right here. When we had the X3, the magnet was right on top. So that worked out well because it's such a small device. With the X4, the magnet was kind of in the middle, and so it wasn't really grabbing here. And on my phone, I had to actually turn it to get it to stick. There it is. It's even lower than the middle. It's down here. And so they've taken the magnet placement from the X3 and put it on an X4 body. So now the magnet is back on top. This is cool if you have a modern phone. My phone's kind of old. This is the Google Pixel 7, very old, but it's smaller, which means that now it hangs off a little bit on the end. If you have a more recent phone, that shouldn't be an issue. I think it's smart of them to put the magnet up top rather than on the bottom like the other one had it. And then the one other change I can think of is that there's a charging light on the N of the logo. That little tip right there is a charging light that turns red when you're charging it and white when it's fully charged, which is nice because with the pin charging, you really kind of have to have it upside down if you're not holding it. If you lay it on its back while it's pin charging, there's a lump on the lower side. So smart of them to put some kind of charging indicator on the back. These are all really good changes. As for the reading experience, nothing's all too different from the other ones. Again, the screen size and screen quality is the same as the other X4, so that's not a big change. But what is a huge change is that we've got the ability to either click our way around with the side buttons, and you can see it's a fast change, a lot faster than something like my Moodita Compact, which does read books, but the scroll is so slow. I would say even, I don't know, it feels faster than a Kindle just to go back and forth. Oh, I've dropped it and broke it. But now the big difference is that you can swipe. And so, I don't know. That to me is like the 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's another feature, but something about having only the physical buttons to navigate felt really nice. But it's the difference between like, yeah, it's charming and nice, but for anyone reading in bed with a spouse trying to sleep, this one's more practical. So the buttons here are nice, but they're kind of loud. There's no front light, so I was using a book light. It made my wife miserable. This one now, I do have the option to have this really gentle backlight, or front light rather, and then just swipe. And that means that even though kind of the charm of this low-tech device is missing. It's a lot more practical, which means I'm probably going to use it a lot more. My only real downsides here is that the whole vibe is a little bit different with a touchscreen, but again, makes it practical. The battery does die a little bit quicker. That's okay. And there are some settings I would like to see added here, but these are things that can be fixed in future firmware updates. Those are a couple of little things, but I think small prices to pay for the option to have just a scroll and swipe. And then again, the front light was kind of everything we all ever wanted on one of these. I really do love it. I actually was using the X4, and then when I knew this one was coming, I kind of stopped reading because I knew in my heart this would be the one I used the most, and so I didn't want to make progress on my books that I would then have to move over, which sounds silly, but it goes to show this is going to be my daily reader, my daily driver. Of the three, I already ordered a case for it so it can match the other two with their cases. I absolutely love the micro reader market that's growing now, and I think this is a cool addition to it. I know there's going to be a lot of comments that say, oh, we don't like that physical button. Oh, I wish they didn't add a touch screen. That's not what I wanted. But it's a cool device and it works really well. And when you get into it, when you get into a book, you're actually not thinking about the touch screen. You're not thinking about the buttons. You're just scrolling and enjoying the read. So as long as it's a good book, you're gonna have a good time. That's the key. I'm gonna say it again. As long as it's a good book, you're gonna have a good time. You also do, remember, have the side buttons. You don't need to use the screen if you don't want to. And they listened to us about the OS. They listened to us about the front light and making it warm. Those are fantastic things and makes this, in my mind, a better device than the X4 or the X3, just for those reasons. Well done to them. I really hope they stay around a long time. I want to see what they come out with next, and it's in the description and the top pinned comment. See you in the next video.